Hello, welcome. This is a video of the 6 Fanarts challenge at the hashtag 6 Fanarts. Today we're going to be looking at the challenge that I started 21st of April, and yeah, let's get right into it. This first one is Batman. I chose Batman because he's a very popular character, but also because he's quite a special character in his backstory and how he portrays his backstory in that. He's like some kind of superhero, even though he doesn't really defeat any of his enemies. You can see that in the movies. Although I do rather Marvel. Marvel has better stories and has more comedy put into their movies. They're also quite bright in how they portray it. Yeah, let's get right into it. With this Batman character that I drew, not sure why I did his posture and build so chubby, but I kind of just ended up doing it because it looked nicer with the posture that he was in. I like this posture and how he looks because of his, just really happy, even though he's like super dark in the movies and stuff. This one is the longest drawing because at the start you can see it didn't do too much detail. I had to redo it. I struggled a bit with the buildings. The clouds are a bit tricky, and the shading and different textures on the character. Still, Marvel is better, so yeah. With Batman done, I'd start to run out of ideas already, so I decided to resort to my little brother, who's a professional in watching movies and TV shows. So had a lot of fun making Batman, although he was the longest. It was heaps of fun to make him in a way that he's usually portrayed, as like a happy, chubby, fun person. And haven't really seen the movies, but I feel like he's got a fun guy inside him. This next one is Mowgli from the Jungle Book. One of my favourite characters in the Disney franchise, and one of my favourite movies in the Disney franchise. I like the original Jungle Book more from the 60s in comparison to the new one. The new one doesn't really follow the original, and I don't think it's as funny. It's more dark and just a bit more scary than the other one was. The other one was a happy way of showing a wild jungle. All of them could talk, and bears are really nice, and baboons are funny, and I don't think the new movie showed that. Mowgli is I think he's either Asian or Indian or something. He was lost in a boat in the jungle, and then a jaguar came to save him. And they go on a giant journey to get him back to the man village. I chose him because, I didn't actually choose him. Zaki did, my little brother. Not sure why he chose him, but if I ever get information about it, I will tell you. Let's get into it. For Mowgli, I actually decided to make him more of a tired character than what he is in the movie. You can see him very tired with his little honey jars covered in bees, but I think he's gotten quite used to the bees from living with Baloo for so long. It's the face kinda I made his mouth really long to show that he's very tired, a little droop in his mouth. The bees are to show that he just got it from a hive. It's not just jars of honey that he already owns. you probably guessed it. It's Luke Skywalker, who's like main protagonist in the first couple of movies, but then he kind of drifts off. Although he's still one of the very important characters in the films that are coming out now. Yeah, he was very fun to draw. He's a very interesting character because, he's a good guy at the start. He's kind of scared of being a Jedi because he doesn't know what'll come of it. And yeah, he kind of ends up drifting away from it, but he tries to come back. And that's what I think makes him really interesting. Skywalker's lightsaber is one of the favourite parts of this drawing because it's glowing very well, and I use Procreate, by the way. In Procreate, if you go to Luminance in the pens area, there's a whole bunch of things to make it just look like it's glowing without having to use any annoying gradients or anything. His posture, I think, is quite important because the Force is like pointed at your amount of focus, and he's trying to use it on Hoth. And since he's just begun, he's really trying hard. And his hair, not sure what I did. He kind of has like a bowl cut. Looks like he's got a little fluffy helmet on. The background is Hoth, and I like putting his feet in the snow. That was fun. And his clothes is normal, like Jedi robe. Yeah, I had a lot of fun making this one. Even late 20s, early 20s even. And yeah, he's in all the TV shows on like 9 and 7. Yeah, he's a really cool character. You might have guessed it, it's Donald Duck. This one Zahid came up with. It's quite creative, although didn't expect it because I'm not very good at drawing humanoid ducks. So this one was quite a challenge for me. Let's see how I went. This is the one that I'm actually the least proud of. It's not the best because I don't usually draw ducks in humanoid form, and the background is kind of rushed, and yeah, it's still very good and I like it, but it's not the one I'm most proud of in this whole video. Yeah. And with that one done, I finally had some ideas for the last two, and yeah, so let's get right into the next one. I'd be very surprised if you got this one. It's Totoro and his friends. This one I had the most fun with. It did take the longest, but I'm really proud of the way I did it, and yeah, it's just a great drawing. Totoro is a Japanese anime character from the late 80s. Yeah, I chose him because he's one of my favourite movies, even though it's only in Japanese. Yeah, it's a great movie. It's really creative. And with this drawing, my favourite parts are the little Marshyy comics sign that I did, the leaf on Totoro's head, the love hearts on his stomach instead of the arrows, and the two little buddies that he has, and the pink umbrella, which one of the characters has in the movie. Yeah, this is definitely my favourite drawing in the entire thing. With that one done, and it being the second day, I decided to have a bit of a break, went outside, and yeah, did this one quite late, but I'm pretty proud of it. It's from Super Mario. Yeah. Okay, so this one is Toad. This one is quite simple in the background and even in textures on him. It was lots of fun drawing a non-human character and a non-animal character, but very fake sort of realism. In the castle, you can see that I actually drew a window and blocked it up with him, and the grass is like a fat nozzle spray paint can. For the shading on the top of his head, I actually used an extra layer with 50% opacity and just used a black pen, which gave it the effect that it was shaded without having me doing any confusing colours or anything. This one, pretty proud of. The sun is also another thing in the luminance area, that's a light pen. But yeah, this one is really cool. I like it.